Well, everybody knows Wesley. He works at CPC, and he's been fantastic about maintaining and actually innovating a lot about grib, and his utility that he wrote, wgrib, is being used probably worldwide, and it's really useful stuff. But now that we all have to transition to grib2, it hasn't been as smooth, and we need, especially if you want to use it in Fortran, it's been hard. Grib1 was much easier to use with getGB and putGB, but it's not as simple to use it for grib2. So I'm happy he's giving this talk, because I think it's going to help us transition to grib2 in a more flexible manner. And we are actually starting to use some of these programs in our CFS output, and instead of writing out grib1 and then using convert grib to go to grib2, you have to write out directly into grib2. It's not easy. So with that introduction, I'll just give it to Wes. I also want to tell he's one of the most helpful people in this world. I mean, if you get stuck and you send him an email, you'll get a reply right back, and it's really wonderful to have somebody like that, receptive and responsive. Thank you.
Actually, if you write an email to Grad's user, you'll reply to him.
Well.
Okay, CPC is like EMC. We're in the conversion from grib1 to grib2. We started before you did. So we did a lot of the groundwork in terms of grads handling grib2. Okay, and we have a lot more utilities. We still have the same problem. We have a lot of Fortran code that needs to read from grib1 to grib2. And knowing the people there, they're not going to become grib2 experts. Next page, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Can
people hear me on the phone?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I shut down the sound.
Okay. Okay. One way is to use utilities to go from grib2 to grib1. You convert it, the grib2 to grib1 to say F77 binary, and just read it. It's convenient and fast. Another way is to convert archives. It can be easy and practical. However, it takes time and disk space. A new format may lose metadata. For example, going to netcdf, lots of metadata gets lost. And then, of course, there are maintenance issues. You convert to a format you like, the next person down the road says, why did you do this? And sometimes you just have to read the grib2 in Fortran. So my goal is, what I want to do is something simple to do. Easy to use, simple. That's what I like. I need to write code that uses Fortran, that reads grib. I want it easy. Okay, next page, please. Okay, you use a library. So EC codes from European Center, grib2, from NCEP, NCAR's a library, and there are probably other ones. There's a number of issues using G2lib. It's very low level, and you need to become a grib expert to use it. Okay, it's difficult to write code, and it's very difficult to write robust code. As I said, I want something very simple. G2lib doesn't meet the bill. Actually, most of these libraries don't meet the bill. Okay. Next page, please.
That's fine.
Okay, here's a 5-line alternative for reading grib. The blue line says use wgrib2api. That says load the module. This allows you to have a nice interface to the Fortran code. Allows variable number of arguments. It allows optional arguments. You don't have this fixed list 1, 2, 3, 4, 20. It's variable. Next line, please. Now we have to
explain that.
Oh, go back up. Oh, it allows you to define the interface to call the routines, which allows optional arguments and variable number of arguments.
So if you use, are you saying if you load the module, then you can use things like grib2_mk_inv.
There's type checking, so it makes your code very more robust.
You're not reading anything there.
No, he's just giving an example
I'm just saying. Someone said I just read the PowerPoint, and I'm trying to do something different, saying why I'm doing this, why I'm using the module. The code becomes more robust because it does type checking. It adds optional arguments. Okay, next line, please. Okay, you have to define variables, and for interface, you define real allocatable arrays, like grid, two-dimensional, lat, and long. Okay, the size of the arrays will be determined by the routine that reads the grib. Okay, so it makes it like a lot easier. Next line, please. Okay, the third line is making an inventory file or index file. Grib doesn't have an index file, so that's good and bad. It's bad because you have to make an index file. It's good because your files are smaller, and you can make an index file any way you want to. Index files are used for searching, and people do different searches, where a predefined index file may not have that search. Okay. The index file is actually a text file, which is equivalent to...
So you make these index files on the fly?
It can be made beforehand.
So you're actually saying that blue line corresponds to your comment down there.
Yes. It does exactly the same thing. It creates a text file which corresponds to an inventory. Okay.
So that does for the whole file.
Yeah.
Right. But he's saying this is done on the fly.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
in the
do
Fortran.
You could do it in
Right,
you
but
could do it beforehand in script.
But beforehand, we used to use grib index. Is there some utility that you can go through and make the index file
Sure.
beforehand?
wgrib2, the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
But is the indexing needed?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
For sequence.
for inquiry. It's the next
Yeah, you
one.
need to be random access to the file to be fast. So
Is it expensive to do this on the fly and then read it, or is it better to do it beforehand?
depends how many times you need it. If you're going to do it, read the file 20 times, save
Because
it.
it's more I/O this way, right?
It does, okay. It does more I/O, but the index file can be done to memory. I'll talk about memory file, which saves some I/O. I'll talk about memory files later
Okay.
on. Next, okay. This next line is actually reading the file. Grib2 inquire, index grib file, index file, two searches, height colon 500 millibars in English, and 200 hour forecast. So search terms are in English, easy to read.
Wait a minute, so a.grib is the data and a.inv is the index file?
Yes. So you give it index file, grib file, index file, searches in text. And you get say data2 equals grid. Say, hey, read the grid for me. And also I can get these are optional arguments. So I can also get the lat long, which is sort of convenient. But I don't have to call a library. It's done for you in code that's already been tested. So not your code, but tested code.
So what is lat long? Those are...
I should launch into the grid points.
Headers.
Most people like, okay, lat long grids, you don't care.
So
But
it
for
does actually get it.
it computes
In
it.
addition to data.
Right.
In addition to data.
Yes. I mean, for,
It'll tell you how much it read, right? Latin long.
no, it tells you what the grid point
Whole
values
thing,
are.
whole thing, whole 2D.
2D file. You can see it's lat long is a grid, just like the grid. It's dimensioned the same way as the grid. So for original grids, like under conformal, you have to get the latitude and longitude of those grid points.
Latitude is a two-dimensional grid?
Yeah, every grid point has a latitude and longitude.
Okay.
You're too global.
Okay.
Okay, down please. Okay, the last one is checking to see everything worked out. I return is equal to the number of matches. Found 0, that means you didn't find any, the search didn't work. Your inventory is garbage. 1 is good. I found one record that matched my search terms. If it's 2 or more, I found more than 2 things that matched it. It could be like multiple ensemble members, or it could be,
Instantaneous averages.
yeah, it could be, or different times, initial times, time series. So that means if there's 2 or more, you need to add more search terms.
Correct.
Okay, so this 5-line code is reading 500 millibars height. Okay. That's
The 120 hours forecast, that means you are searching the 120 hours forecast?
yes, it has to be.
Exact that time.
Yes.
So you get this out of the wgrib2, right? If people want to know what the mnemonics are, they do a wgrib2,
Yeah, that's true.
and then they see which record they want. They just
Next
pick up
slide,
these-
please.
Sorry.
Find the search terms. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Most people are used to the default inventory of wgrib2. As you can see, these are you get a line. These are actually the search terms you will use. I mean, you say 111th hour forecast. Okay. This is what most people will use. There's also called a match inventory, which is actually being used. The match inventory is the default inventory in red plus extra terms, like the number of points. The variable name is a number, the PDT, product definition template, the date code with hours, minutes, and seconds, the forecast start time, verification time, etc., etc. These formats, both the default and match inventories, will change with time. It's basically GRIB is expanding. The GRIB format expands with time. So therefore, these things have to change with time. They're not fixed. For example, when aerosols came in, okay, the format was expanded. So if it was aerosol, it would say the aerosol somewhere in there. Okay, and a chemical species came in here too, in both the default and the match inventory.
Where does the blue part come in?
Oh, the blue part is just default. This is the default inventory.
Right, that's all you get.
The
with
red
it.
is for the default inventory. The match is the default plus extra terms.
When
the
you
blue
go
is the extra
minus
term.
match on it.
Yeah. The blue is the extra terms from the match inventory.
What's the meaning of dash match underscore inventory? I mean,
It gives you more information.
what are they matching with?
No,
Okay. Okay.
it's an
Okay.
inventory.
There's a wgrib2 command called dash match,
I see.
and the match doesn't search the default inventory, but it searches the match inventory. The dash match.
It's not matching anything. It's
No, just
it's searching the inventory.
it's used the inventory that the dash match and that not
It's-
command does use.
So you're saying wgrib2 minus match inventory is giving you more information than just doing W2 on a file?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, this is
Just like a minus
this is what
capital
you want to
B,
see normally.
more verbose.
I don't want to see all this when I.
Right.
It's too long and too
Okay,
complicated.
good.
Yeah, at the same time, if you want to write a file,
That's
you want to read a
different.
file and then write a file with most of the defaults from the read file in the output file. Is that an easy way of doing it?
Yes, it is.
He's coming.
Okay. Yes. I mean. Okay. Yes.
What's the black line at the bottom?
Okay. I mean,
Oh,
for
there's
example,
another
the
one.
grid. A lot of this is grid information. These are basically forecast time. That's all part of here.
So you're basically reading the header. Okay.
Yes. Basically, what you could header. Sure. It's the metadata.
Yeah.
The metadata is stored all over the place. It's
So
not
the
a header.
second one is line number. So the first one is the first line, right? And the second one
It's the
is
second line. Second record.
record after so many bytes.
Yeah. Right. Second record.
Go ahead. What is the var O underscore 2 underscore 1 underscore 7?
Oh, that's the variable name is a numeric.
Which is, you're saying, is Gust in this case.
Yes. And what happens is GRIB doesn't use one number for the variable name. It uses like 6 or something. So you have to put 6 numbers.
But you don't need to use that. You just use ugrd or vgrd or
Yeah.
Gust.
You tend to use the variable name when you have some new variable that's undefined.
So those numbers from with 2 tables.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. I mean,
But you don't need to use them.
there was one case with the Air Force. Their table was completely different, so to do things you can't say Gus because they used some different name. It was ugly, but you use the numbers instead.
But when you do a wgrib2 and a name it, you get something, right?
You get the default inventory.
Right.
You know,
But you
you
would have
can-
got Gust there.
It was some unknown. You get some default name
I-
with numbers.
Okay.
So is that var 0, is that associated with all vises, or is it viz at different levels? So we would have-
VAR is just the VAR is with one viz. It's equivalent of the VIS, the variable name,
Right.
not with the level.
So every time we see a viz, or let's say a different variable, which might be a different time
Right.
or level, it has a unique number associated with it, which is something var 0, blah, blah, blah. whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Levels are stored in a different field. Time
It's
is
synonymous with each other.
yeah.
Okay.
So where is level in this? I mean,
This one here is surface. This is surface. Top one is planetary boundary layer.
okay.
Okay.
And those are the keywords you need to put in when you
Right.
call that
Yeah.
function.
It'll match them. Yeah.
Yes.
So you had to remember that keyword.
Well, yes,
No.
you have to remember, but
You don't
it's easy to
have
find
to.
it by just doing the inventory.
Just do wgrib2. It'll give you everything that's in that file. And then you match whatever you want.
Well, you go back to the previous slide, and there's a query over there.
You don't need to do it in Fortran. He's saying
No, let him say-
outside Fortran you can do a wgrib.
So you look at the inventory, that'll tell you what kind of search term, like height 500. I mean, you have to,
You don't need those two. Is what.
you need to know, you have to do something. And you get these search terms from the inventory. It uses the same format, keywords.
Has to be exactly the same.
Yes.
Oh, that's it.
Hmm?
That's going to be pain.
Why? You can't put HGT 500 millibar?
If you can't spell that right, you have problems.
You can cut and paste it out of the wgrib.
Or you can do in the script level wgrib and grep that part.
Okay. So these are some things you need to know about it. The grid is set to the right dimensions by grib2 inquire. Within the staggered grids, it's nx is the number of points and ny is 1 because they're not exactly rectangular grids. Undefined values have a value of 9.99 E20. Okay. This is,
It's too big.
it's that's it's meant to be a big number that can be stored as an IEEE number. Okay.
What is thin?
What?
Thin.
Where?
You have thin.
It's like maybe your, what kind of grids do you have? The reduced
Thin.
grid?
Oh, thin like, thin
reduced?
Gaussian.
How about
How does
reduced
it know
grid?
that?
What?
The grid is thin.
It isn't the grid definition.
You've written it out that way.
It's reading the grid definition. It knows the grid size. It knows the type of grid. It knows the lat long of the grid points. It knows whether it's thin or staggered. Okay. Okay. Undefineds are 9.99 E20. This is different from grib G2lib, which uses either a bitmap or a special value. Okay? And then it's a common mistake for codes not to check for special values, because special values are used for complex packing. And most codes were written for JPEG, which uses bitmap. Okay.
So when you make the packing, you have to choose the special value when you are making the grib2 file. So it's not
When you're
the
writing
special
out
value fixed.
the grid.
What?
So what's the that special value depends on what?
It depends what's in the group file. The G2 library will use a special value. The special value that G2lib uses is embedded in the group file.
So mostly for wgrib, for grib1 we use bitmap
Right.
for better packing, and it was JPEG, right?
No, it was simple packing.
Simple packing.
But you still use a bitmap.
Right. So you're saying, what is the recommended thing to do for grib2? Should we write it out with bitmaps or special values or what?
Complex packing allows you choice of either bitmap or special values. Special values produces a smaller file. That's faster to decode.
Why?
It's just more efficient. What happens, basically, a bitmap requires 1 bit for a grid point. Special complex packing tends to encode about 2 to 5 bits.
So you're saying, for instance, if you have some ocean data which is basically not defined over
Right.
land, all the land points get some special value like that, and takes less space.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a smaller file.
Because complex packing says, oh, I found 4,000 points, all special values. Let me crunch them all together. So they have 4,000 special values.
But the bitmap actually
Has
has
to
to
go
assign 1 bit. What does netcdf do? Gives it a 4 byte?
It depends on what kind it's doing. Okay. Okay, next part is
Would that be supported by NCO, having a
What?
special value for?
it's part of the grip standard.
Okay.
And NDFT uses it. So it should be, but some of the codes are old and they don't know about it. Some do, some don't.
So when you do a convert grib2, what does it do?
It knows about special values.
And it'll use special values?
If you set the right flags.
Hey Wesley, wouldn't it be better for just selecting 999, either 20 for all those undefined all the time and forget all those bitmap stuff?
Well, there are two issues here. There is, if you have a land ocean, where the land has a special value, but you have data that you want special values like missing, then you have two special.
9.999 to the 20th is
It has to be a floating point number.
But it's a difference. You have a missing value as opposed to one that you don't want defined. A land value, if you only want ocean temperatures, then the land values can get a special value where they're not considered. But there's maybe missing data of over the ocean itself. Then you need another special value, right?
Well, okay.
What is missing value?
Grib has special values have two different ones. wgrib only supports one. It supports two, but it makes it everything to 9999. Okay. It has to be a floating point value that's not used. So 0 is not a good one. -1 is not a good one. 9999 is
69. 69.
Not good. Because you have precision problems.
Any variable bigger than 69?
So this is even bigger.
It's too big.
So can you floating point number? It's a valid floating point number that's big. That's not going to be used.
Yes, sometimes we want to print out, but just print out star. Then we think there's some problem with that.
Okay.
But it's not a problem.
It's not a problem. It's just undefined.
Undefined, yeah.
Yes. This is the way it's working.
So to have two special values and you want to plot that in grads, would it?
Grads doesn't support two special values either.
So that's the problem. With bitmap, grads would not put it in at all.
No, bitmap means undefined. This complex packet has two special values. That's all. For two different. But I don't think no one knows the difference between which one is this and that. Both undefined. Okay. Okay. Next part is the order of the grid. Okay. wgrib. Can you have the next slide? wgrib2 has the top one here. Left to right, from bottom to top. It's basically west, east, south, north. Now, west, east, south, north order. That's very common in the regional models here.
Oh, global too.
Global is mostly north to south.
No, yeah, but grads expects it from south to north.
Yes, I know, but we have, in our models, we have either north to south or south to north. Okay? But wgrib2 really wants to go from south to north.
It really should be from south to north. It's illogical not to.
Okay. There's another order which is common in NDFD, which is basically big for the outside world. It goes from west to east for the bottom row, then east to west, and back and forth. So it alternates in direction.
But it goes south to north.
It goes south to north. Okay. The reason why they did this was they stored deltas, and the delta when you go up one row, the delta is smaller than if you go like the south to north. So you save about 3% of your data space.
If you go north to south, it can still do the delta.
Yeah, but the delta from here to here is relatively small. And from here to here can be big for regional models.
But that would be the same whether it's north or south going.
No, because you go horizontally too, north to south and horizontally. So the deltas tend to be bigger. So they felt a 3% increase in spot. They wanted 3% savings. What can I say? So you have these odd orders. You've seen it NDFD and at European Center. So your codes will have to. If you see these files, you have to take an event. You have to be worried about it.
You mean your modules don't recover correct order?
Well, wgrib2 will always go from south to north.
No, but what his question is that if you have a file like this, can you give a command and say, I'm going to read the data in and make it, when you read the grid in, it should be north to south, east to west.
I don't care north to south. I would prefer south to north.
Okay. I know. Anyways, this is.
What I'm saying is, does it fill the array properly? Like,
this one will
irrespective
fill.
of what is inside the file, when it reads the grid.
It reads the grid and converts it correctly into a west, east, south, north order.
Okay, that's all I want.
Okay. I mean, if you want other orders, it's available. That's not the default.
Okay, default is good.
Okay. Okay. Here are the requirements. Here we know Fortran 90 is a standard, but this one requires Fortran 2003 or Fortran 95 with extensions. You need extension TR 15.51.58.1, which allows subroutines to free and allocate variables. Okay. That's part of the standard. It makes life much easier for writing code. If subroutines that read it can actually set the size. Okay. You also need ISO C bindings, which allow a standard interface to C. Fortunately for us, both iFort and gFortran do meet these requirements. Okay. So we're
all these run on WCOS and on Cray, on everything?
Yep, it runs on everything. Our Linux boxes, they run on your PC. Okay, let me explain the main routine for reading is grib inquire. Okay, it allows you to read the grid for specific, it allows you to read a grid for messages, it allows a long, it reads metadata, you can find the number of fields that will match a specific search, you can copy fields to another records to another field. It allows you to read sequentially if you want to, though that's not the normal. Okay, next please. Okay, the first two arguments of grib inquire are the grib file and its index file. Some examples are just a straight file name, and there's a new one, @mem:"a number. These are memory files. Okay, the inventory file could be a regular string, a regular file, or another memory file. I use memory files a lot because I make inventories not to disk but to memory. That means I avoid one disk I/O when I make the inventory file.
Right at the beginning you make the inventory file.
Yeah, I can write the memory and read the memory very fast.
Why are there two of them? 1, 0, and 11?
Oh, I just use numbers. It has any number between 0 and 19.
Oh, but there's only one. When you make an inventory file and you put it to memory, it's just one.
I have to say 1, 2, whatever. I have to use a number.
Wait a minute. You're saying that second argument will be @mem:" some number?
You can use it, yes. Remember, you can use a memory file wherever you use a regular file.
So that will be, it will dimension it appropriately depending on.
Well, you have to declare it as something, right? The character star something.
Okay, next page, please. This is about memory files. You have 19 memory files right now. I mean, it can be easily expanded. It's already supported by wgrib2. It's been used. It uses computer memory. Therefore, it's not for big files. It's fast, and it's needed when you finish writing the program.
19 for 19 files?
Yeah.
So you can open only 19 inventory files?
You can open 19 memory files.
I mean, 19 grib2 files you can open. And
no, 19 memory files.
Memory files for the same grib file?
No, you don't. It's just a file.
No, I understand.
You can store anything in the file.
You're trying to get inventory into that file, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could cat many files into one inventory.
You could make it. You could rewrite the inventory file. You could,
It's like unit numbers. You don't get 19 of them, but you can pack anything you want in any one of these.
No, I was trying to understand if we are opening 19 grib2 files in the code.
Yeah.
And do we have to put each of them into separate memory file?
Yeah, for the inventory, yes.
Why? I thought you could cat it all into one?
No, because the inventory index file is only for one grib file.
One grib file. So 19 means you can read 19 grib files
at a time.
Yes, if you use memory files, yes. It could be easily expanded. I never thought I'd get past 19.
I'm trying to figure it out. For example, if you are doing a monthly mean,
yeah,
you may need 30 of them.
That's right.
Their monthly means that okay.
Gotcha.
And they can use disk files instead of memory files.
Yes.
I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, he's trying to. Yeah, okay. Okay. There are Fortran calls to set the memory file. grib2_set mem buffer, which is like set it so your Fortran code, your inquire code, can read it, and you could grib write can write to a memory file, and this is the way you get the memory size, buffer size, and then you can get the buffer. So you can read, you could write to a memory file. This is for HPC basically. I can write to a memory file, okay, then read it using the wgrib2 get mem buffer, and then pass it on to somebody else, or write it to a parallel file system.
What?
This is
MPI. Is this for MPI? I'm a little. I think some of us are a little lost. What is the function of these memory files? And for a user, how will we interface with them?
okay. This is for people who do HPC. They don't want to write to disk.
Okay.
They want to write to something faster. They write to a memory file, or they read from a memory file. They get a buffer with a little grid message, right? Oh, decode it, right?
So, but if you have an array defined in the memory, that is also equivalent, isn't it?
What?
I mean, you can always have an array and put it in there. That's not
yeah,
writing to this.
but you
It's still in memory.
Yeah, but suppose you're writing a grid message. You have one grid. You have 1,000 grids. Give one to each processor, MPI task, and each one says, "Okay, let's write out a grid message." Instead of writing to disk, you write to a memory file. The Fortran code, after it writes the memory file, will read it and write to the parallel file system. Okay.
Wesley, I think people are confused because you're calling it a file. It's an array, Fortran array.
That's what I
It's
thought.
a buffer.
Buffer.
It's a buffer.
It's not a file on this. That's why you.
No, I understood that. I was trying to see what is special about this compared to having your own array.
No,
You should
there is a
comment very
data
relevant,
array.
because I think some people weren't using the word file.
Yeah, it says read memory file. It's not a file. It's an array in a memory.
Right.
A buffer.
Yes.
That you can control with get mem buffer and control the size of that buffer.
Yes.
But this contains the inventory, right?
You can write the inventory to it. You can write a grid file.
That's
It's
You can
a
read from it.
location where in the memory that.
I
holds-
mean, if you have unpacked it into grid, why do you need to put it into mem?
both of them.
It's in memory already under grid.
Array.
Yeah,
Array.
but you say you can pass one message. Rather than
what
write
I'm
a disk,
saying.
then to read it, I write the memory file, then read it from the memory file.
Right. So basically, you're writing out the inventory into memory as some buffer array there.
Unix everything.
But this is not really meant for the data. The data is going into grid 1 or grid 2 or whatever. You're going to have to do
Yeah.
something with it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I may have to go through. I have some slides at the end of my HPC. Okay. Next one. Okay. Search terms. I'm going over after the inventory. No, group file inventory. There are up to 0 to 20 search terms. A variable number. Okay. It could be like height. Keywords like height, 12-hour forecast, whatever. It should be HI, high res control, not HR. Okay.
So you can put 20 in a line
Up to 20 search terms.
just to get one record.
Yes. I mean, it happens. Okay. Okay. Hence, you should use colons
Right.
to eliminate search terms. Like 50 millibars will match 50 millibars. Therefore, you should use colon 50 millibars colon. Temp will match vtemp, so you should use colon temp colon. Okay.
But then under temp, you have many. You have surface, you have 2 meter temperature.
Although, okay.
Well, you have 20
Very
such
little.
terms.
You have 20, so you can say surface or 2 meters above ground.
Right.
Okay. Optional arguments. There are 2 types of optional arguments. Okay. They're in any order, they're both in arguments and out arguments. Okay. The inner ones that are set by the program, outer ones that are set by the submachine. Next, please. The in arguments could be like reference date, which is integer kind equals 8. Verification date. There's e-date, which is date code plus minute, seconds. You're getting there. I see people who say, I need to support minutes. Okay. Not the global people, but the regional. Okay. Now there's an optional argument called order. The default is west, east, south, north. We allowed west, east, north, south. If you have old code that requires north to south, there's one called raw, which means you can use the raw order. However, if you don't use the default of west, east, south, north, you can't use the lat long functions. That code only works with the default order. Okay. There's another one called copy, which basically matches it. You'll write it directly out to another file. Okay, so it's good for subsetting data in Fortran code. And there's another one called sequential. It reads the inventory sequentially. So you can read it sequentially. You can read the data sequentially. Okay, zero. If the inventory sequentially goes zero, it means you start the inventory and work down. Not zero, you read sequentially. Okay, next. Okay, out arguments. You can get the grid, the lat long. This NX is the size of the grid. Sort of useful. Endpoints, number of grid points. MSG number is the number, the group message number, sub-message number. And the important one is, two important ones are about description. That is the metadata. Okay, that's basically the default inventory minus the first two columns which is the number and the location. That's your metadata. Okay, and finally is the grid description. Okay, in case you're worried about that. Okay.
Question: is endpoints the number of valid points, or is it like if you have a mask, like some regional grids have a mask?
Right.
Does it include those or not?
No.
Okay.
It's
It's just a meteorological point.
It's a full grid, including undefined and defined points.
Oh, okay, so it's undefined and is included in it.
It's sort of a quick way to check that we get the right grid.
Okay.
You say, I want this number of points, and it says, whoops, wrong number of points. I ignore it. It's not foolproof, but it's a quick way. Okay. Okay, here's an example of reading a file sequentially. I mean, I gave an example before where we read one record, 5 row heights. This is going through a PGB file and reading the relative humidity for all the vertical pressure levels. Okay. Here is nlevels equals group inquire. Here I do a search for this and it tells me the number of levels. Okay. So I'm going to run through all the levels. I'm going to do group inquire, RH, same search, plus sequential equals I minus 1. So when it's 0, the first time through, it rewinds the inventory file. Description is getting the metadata and getting the grid point data. So grid, as I said, the description will be basically D equals date, variable, level, etc. So here I am picking up, I know the format of the metadata, so I pick up the millibar level and I just write out, I make a quick printout of one grid point. So I'm scanning through the whole file for all the RH pressure levels. So I'm reading sequentially. Any questions? Sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering that whether that 1111MMDDHH can extend it to include the minutes, because we use in minutes. We need to carry that minutes.
You did it on the other one. You did it here, didn't you? No, you did eDate.
eDate, yes, but the one next.
Right now, it doesn't include it. Okay. I mean, I could obviously just set a flag so I could always set a flag so it will have the year. I could easily change it so it would do minute, seconds, minute. It's easy enough done.
So this whole thing has been written by you. It's under your control.
Yeah.
What if you wanted? So it's
the Fortran code
the
is
location of all of these on, say, WCOS or Cray are under your directory.
Yeah.
At some point, are you going to get NCO to put it in their utils, or are you going to get it in the EMC utils, or?
Wow. Okay.
Maybe it's still under. I mean, you can change things easily now, right?
And right now, it's easy to change. The code is quite small, actually. I wouldn't mind giving the code to EMC. It's so short. If someone wants to take it over,
it would be nice to have a central place, and you know.
What's the 17 there?
Let's column 17. What? Column 17 is here.
Oh, okay.
So it's reads from the substring 17 onwards. It's reading a number, which just happens to be a millibar number of millibars.
Okay.
So it's just reading a substring.
Up
Okay.
to the X. It's reading from X on, right?
Yeah. which happens to be
So you have to keep counting things.
well, there are ways. Okay, I mean there's a routine to get and set substrings, like column numbers, field numbers. There are ways to do that. There are routines for that.
Yeah, because if you put MMSS, that will become
I know.
21.
Okay, so
But if you have pressures in fractions, can that be, like when you go very high resolution models, you will have in pascals, like 1 Pascal, 2 Pascal.
well, it has to say millibars, but you allow fractional millibars.
Allowed, is it? You can have fractional millibars.
No.
Yes.
Can you?
Well, the code that reads the millibar assumes a floating point number.
But it can be fraction.
Yes, it's a floating point number.
Okay.
That was the case with
Why
one.
why we don't use Pascals instead of millibars?
Well, I don't ask him.
I said millibars. I use millibars. I wrote it. I said millibars. What can I say?
Good thing you did that.
Okay. Okay, writing grib2. Grib2 takes a grid and a metadata, and you have to encode it in a proper format. Problem, it takes a lot of metadata. For a simple forecast, it takes 55 numbers to write a forecast on a lat long grid. The amount and order of metadata varies by template. So it's not a fun thing. Okay, one approach is to create the grid file from scratch. Basically, you need to have a copy of all the metadata in the source code or in a data file somewhere. Okay, another approach is to have a template. You have a sample grid file. The template already has the metadata. We find out that the program monitors the grid point values and certain metadata such as the variable, level, date, code, forecast hour. So there's only a certain amount of metadata that actually changes. Okay, basically, you have process ID there too.
So you're saying that for instance, if you have a grib1 file, you can do convert grib, make it grib2, and then you have all the metadata when you do a wgrib2. And you start with that.
Yeah. Okay. Next slide. This is what we were talking about. How to make prototype. How to make a template. Oh no, a prototype grib2 method. Template has most of the unchanging data, like the center, process created data, the grid, and the scan order are part of the unchanging template. So the template you have the right scan order. Okay, changing data that includes date, variable, forecast length, variable name, etc. Next, please. Okay, serious question is how to get a template. You have a similar grib2 file. It happens. You're converting from, taking a model, making grib2 output now. You have to go directly rather than go indirectly through convert grib. You already have a grib2 file. Okay. You can have a similar grib1 file. You can use convert grib or some of the other utility to convert to grib2. You're upgrading the model to a higher resolution grid. Okay. You have the right metadata except for the grid. Oh, just use wgrib2-new grid to make a new grid. Okay, you got your template file.
How does it know?
What?
wgrib2_ means that's just a utility that will.
The interpolation does interpolation. It keeps the current metadata. So you have the wrong grid. So you take the wrong grid, convert it to the right grid by interpolation. Suddenly you get a template file.
What if you have a template file which is, say, half degree by half degree, and you want to write out a quarter degree by quarter degree, and everything else remains the same except now your data is on a higher level? So how do you do that?
So you
only have a half degree by half degree right now.
You use wgrib2-new grid or copy GB2 to convert to your high resolution grid. So it has the...
No, I already have the high resolution grid.
You want to make a low one?
No, I'm trying to get the metadata to write it out.
No, we're at the template point right now. The metadata doesn't include the template. The grid is not a commonly the grid is considered to be fixed. It's part of the template.
Okay, so you're talking, this is like a copy GB. Going from one grid to the other
Yes.
grid. Okay.
So we're going to make the template, so it has to be the correct grid in scan order.
Is there a copy GB2 now?
Yes, there is.
But you could use this instead of copy
Yeah, sure.
GB2.
You can do, yes, you can do that too. Okay. And wgrib2 has a lot of ways of setting the metadata. Okay. For example, okay, next one. Template is usually one or a handful of records long. Template should be a simple template, not these complicated like process things.
Hey, we need those.
And no. wgrib2 can convert from simple to complex. But going from complex to simple and back to complex, a different complex is more difficult. This limitation may be gone by now. Okay, and for speed, if you're making thousands of files, grib messages, you want to have a fast and small, easy to read grib file. So you can actually zero all the values, which tends to make the template very small, at 200 bytes, and fast to read. Okay.
So that takes a big template file and converts into small.
Yeah. So it takes a big template file. RPM 0 means replace all the values with 0. And this is grib out means make a new grib file from the grid, which happens to be 0, and it's now small.
But all the metadata is preserved.
Yes. The grid is preserved. All the metadata. So it's just the grid point values have changed. So it's easy to read. Okay. Next. Okay, here's how you write it out. One line. Grib2 write equals output file, template file. I is the next one is the third one is I, which is record number. They're going to use as a template. Okay, so your template may have more than one grid resolution, for example, or it could have some other template. It could have whatever. Then you give it the data, and you give the metadata, which is a string. Okay. For the grid, you have to use allocable arrays, like the grid read, and you have to use 9.99E20 for undefined values. Okay. Okay, metadata is a string. Next, please.
So this is supposed to be in a loop for all the. This is supposed to be in a loop for all the variables.
Yeah, this writes one grid.
One message.
Yeah, one message.
One record.
One record. One grid. This is one grid. There's only one data here, or is it one message?
This is like you're creating a new grib2 file that you don't know much
One
about.
field.
One
surface temperature or something.
Yeah. Okay, here, example. The metadata is a string similar to the default inventory, except it's missing the first two fields. And here's some examples. This is straight out of wgrib2 inventory. This one's up to here is a wgrib2, but an extra field say packing equals J. So we're now going to a JPEG packing. This is using defaults. This is using the default, which is standard simple packing. And here's another one which is going to use.
In the same file, you can use different packing for different records?
Yeah. It depends on metadata. Here it's going to encode the 16 bits.
So if you want more precision, you say encode 16 bits.
Yes.
And if you have something like at ocean land and you don't need anything on the land, you do a packing J or
whatever you want. 1 bit.
That's still 1 bit. What if you don't want 1 bit? Then you just give it the missing number or whatever.
Not sure your question. Okay. Well, anyways, you basically use the wgrib2 inventory as your guide of the metadata command.
So in the old way, we used to put kpds22 equals 3.
That's
then
gone.
It was 3.
No numbers, all letters.
But what if you want to have precision after like 3 decimal points or 5
I'll
decimal
cover that
points?
later. Okay, here's an example.
Can you go back to the previous line?
Okay.
Can you go back to previous? So in this case, you give 3 lines. That means 3 metadata was the same.
These are examples of metadata.
And no, is all 3 together is metadata?
No,
each line is
each one are 3 different examples. Metadata is only 1 line long.
Okay.
But here are 3 different examples showing, different variable, different levels. So for example, different times.
So they're moving
Packing.
5.5
In this
millibar.
case, you have a 3 metadata.
Yeah.
Of
These are just examples. Okay, here's an example of writing one grib message. You have to use the module, load the module. You have to allocate your data, define your string. You have to allocate your data. You see metadata equal. That's your metadata. Sort of easy to read. No more IKPDS equals blah. Okay, there you write it. Right, output file out. Template assuming defined, and it's grid and
You
metadata.
just said you need 55.
Numbers. If you use numbers, this temp, for example, corresponds with 6 numbers.
But where is that template coming from?
Assuming it's already defined. Presumably you define an output file and template
When you
file.
say use wgrib2api, it brings everything in.
No, template is your own file.
Wow.
It's a file.
Yes, a template is a file with your template. I don't know where it is. I'm assuming it exists.
And it is a text file.
No, template is a grib2 file, which is a sample file. Okay. This is basically based on people with grib1 experience say get GP, copy GP. The get GP is using the metadata, using the file you first read as a template.
So that needs to have one record or multiple record, it doesn't matter.
It'll match it.
Well, you have to say you can have multiple records. You have multiple records. You have to figure out different resolutions. You have to choose one of them. Like here, I'm choosing the first record. It's my template.
Okay.
But the file could have multiple ones.
But
So it could have different variables too. It doesn't matter what variable it is.
You could have it, yeah.
so your template is a grib2 file.
Yes.
Some grib2 file,
Yeah.
and it goes in, and it will match that, and then take the entire.
It will take the first. For example, in my case, 1 says I'm going to take the first
Well,
record.
what if then I have to keep track of 1 to which record I'm using?
How many? Usually, you only need 1 because you only need 1 usually.
But if my template has 500 records in there,
Why would you have? Okay. For your use, you only have 2. One for the Gaussian grid, one for the outlier.
Create one in the beginning. Just create one.
I thought you could take any grib2 file and
You
use that as a template.
You can't.
But you're saying you have to know which record number it is? Why
Yeah.
can't you just go and match it?
No.
What do you mean by match? You're creating a new file.
I know, but you're taking the template from
Okay.
an old file, and the old file
Okay.
has temperature at 10 millibar.
Okay, here.
I don't need to know which record number it is. Right now here I would have to say, oh, it's the 50th record. In that.
Usually it's the same record. Usually, most files, the first record is the same as every other record.
No, it's not, because if you
For
take a
the
PGB file, you have
unchanging metadata.
You don't need everything.
So you get, temperature is being set by this thing here, TMP. And I don't care if it said height in the template, because I'm going to override the
You're
temperature.
saying the first record gives you everything except the one that you need, and that
Because everything is at this data. I'm overriding with the day code and the variable.
Yeah, it's getting 1 o'clock.
Okay.
How long it will take?
Maybe it's too long.
How many slides?
Okay, I'll make it 10 minutes. I can skip a lot.
So this presentation is posted from the
Yeah.
website.
Can we continue this?
Yeah,
Because
is that
it's
okay? So maybe some people
Go.
have to leave.
Leave.
We can keep continue, and we are recording.
Okay.
Hopefully, so we will post.
No, I'm talking about having another seminar to continue.
Well, it's only about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, but a lot of us have meetings.
How long does it take?
10 minutes.
I think
So why don't you continue? So we
It
can.
won't take 10 minutes. You know it won't. It's going to take much longer. Everybody's
Then that's question session.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'd say until about 1:20, then you need to stop.
Yeah,
because
I don't think
it's
it's going to be
Okay.
done.
Why don't
Wait
you
a
finish?
minute. There are a lot of
minutes?
people that can't do it, so can you just have it again? I mean, we start on this.
I'd rather you finish for today
Okay.
and explain, and people will review
points will be
this
there.
and come back for question. How's that?
Okay.
This is not going to. This is going to take a while. Okay.
But he said he can finish in 10
No, he
minutes.
can't. I mean, you look at how much he did in 1 hour. Barely 20 slides, and there's another 20
So
left.
Reading and writing. I get lots of.
Okay,
go.
Suru, no question, just let him talk. So we
Okay.
can
learn
Okay.
anything.
Okay. Next one, example 2. This is writing one. Here, go back up one. This is what.
this
go
is
back.
where we
Example
were.
1. Yes. Go to example 2. Now, this is what we often do here. Is group 1. Get GB, put GB. Okay. We can do this similar too. Okay. I'm going to okay. Here we're going to read the height field, right? And then also pick up the NX and Y, and the description equals the metadata for the 500 height field. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to allocate the grid. This is what the metadata looks like. Okay. I'm going to change height to temperature using get GB2 set substring field 2. I'm going to change the height temperature. Number 3, field 3, 500 millibar. I'm going to change it to 1,000 millibars. Okay, so I don't have to count. I don't want to. Okay, I've changed the metadata.
What's the 2 and the 3?
Field 1 is date equals so on. Field 2 is height. Field 3 is 500 millibars. I call it substring because field doesn't. Substring, I know what I'm talking about. People know what substrings are. Okay, I've changed the metadata to 1,000 millibar temperature, right? Okay, for a PGB file, okay, this is a PGB file, the grid are all the same. The center is all the same. The metadata that I need to worry about is the same, whether it's grid record 1 or record 200. So I'm going to write grib to out. For a template, I'm going to use my original grib file. I'm going to use record 1 because it's going to be the same, right, for a PGB file. Because you don't change the center or grid size, right, in the file. So I'm using it as my template.
So can you give an input file and it will write out an output file without you having to do anything, because all you want to do is go from get GB to put GB.
This is what it is. Here it is. Get GB.
Why do I have to say grib2 set substrings?
Oh, don't you
and
have to change something about the file?
Well, the input file has all the different variables
Yeah, but
and records.
Okay, Suru, let him
Yeah.
finish.
Anyways, usually you get GB, change the metadata, then write out the file. That's what usually you do. Get GB, change something, write it out. I don't know what you changed, but you changed some metadata of some sort. And this is what you've done. Get GB, change the metadata, write it out.
Suru, he assumes that you already have a grid file. With this approach, you cannot create a brand new grid file out of nothing, out of only numbers.
But
so you need to have a grid file in order to create a new similar grid file. That's different approach than what we use with G2 Live.
So the null thing is, if I say if
you
I
need
don't
a grid
change
file on a grid that doesn't exist yet, you need to use an external tool to change that grid.
Does that make sense?
And when you put together all the numbers that you need, I don't see why do you need, you don't save that much. He claims that you need 55 numbers to create a new file.
From scratch.
From scratch. In this method, you maybe need 39 numbers. So you save what? The center number, the subcenter, just a handful of data that
Okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Also, the metadata are changing all the time.
That's true, but if every record is changing, for instance, I'm going from an instantaneous value to an average value, every one of those records changes. Do I have to do
That's part of the forecast. Part of the forecast metadata.
And he prefers to do with strings versus G2 Live where everything is integer.
Yeah.
I would have to have 500 of these?
No, you can say 4 millibar,
get away
4
from the fact
hour
that you
temperature
need to specify
forecast, 4 hour
39
temperature.
numbers.
Everything is average.
Or 0 to 3 hour forecast average. Yes, that includes a lot of things. For packing, you could do this, either J or JPEG for JPEG packing. Complex has 3 different varieties. AEC is a new German compression. Okay, next one. Precision. Okay, by default, wgrib2 stores numbers as an integer, and n bit integer times power of 2 plus an offset. Okay, this is basically what European standard does. So you just say, I want 12 bits, I want 16 bits. Okay, you're allowed to change the number of bits. This is the default packing is 12 bits. It's a binary. Okay. ANSIP convention is to store everything integer times the power of 2 times the power of 10 plus an offset. Okay, and by using the right string, you can do it that way too. Using the encode I times power of 2, power of 10.
So that's the number of places after the decimal.
Yeah, for example here, integer times the power of 2 of 1 times power of 1/10. So you can store things in the 10th degree.
So it's easier with group 1.
Mm-hmm. You still have those two numbers. You just don't know. You have to say, what's the sign of this number? Can I use a negative or use a positive version of it? Okay. Closing files. I mean, eventually you run out of files. Eventually, okay, files are not normally closed, so you have to close them yourself if you run out of files. Okay. And there's two routines for doing that. One is the optional argument, and one is grib2 free file. Down. Here's how to compile it. You have to include works in wclass cray. You have to include a library and include the modules where the modules are found. And you have to use I4 with OpenMP. Because I compiled the library with OpenMP, you have to use OpenMP. Okay. Okay, next.
So this must be much faster than wgrib2api, right?
I have no idea. Never did that. Okay, runs on Fortran on the workstations. It's similar. You have to include some libraries, grib2 library, Fortran, C, and L. You have modules, and you have to compile with OpenMP because libraries compile with OpenMP. And you have to compile with that one. Okay. Down, down, skip, 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 skip. Okay, advantage over G2, it's high level versus low level. You could use your wgrib2 experience by saying this, with G2 you get to set an array of numbers, right? I'd rather do this than set an array of numbers, okay? Some variables have two definitions, a WO definition and an ANSIP definition. So you have this, if you want to write robust code, you say, do I find CPU rate, a WO? No, let me try the ANSIP definition. That's if you want to do a robust code. wgrib2 says, oh, CPU rate, same. Go on. Okay, variable height is encoded as an integer times power of 10. There are more than one way to encode 500 millibars, or 50,000 pascals. However, if you choose the wrong one, it won't match. Okay, it handles more compression types, and it computes longitudes easily. Go ahead. Data is converted to a west, east, south order. grib2 can do any. We'll use raw order, so you have to check the file.
What is G2 live? Is that somebody else wrote?
ANSIP. Undefines are one value. G2 lab has bitmap or special values, and OpenMP.
So who uses G2 live?
Many.
Everyone here.
Yeah. All EMC.
Well, not all. I don't.
Okay. Files are not limited to 2 gigabytes.
You can compile models without that library, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, ensemble files have been over 2 gigs for many years. G2lib has a 2 gig reading limit, apparently.
Still?
I tried using ConvertGrib and it didn't handle it. That's too good. Grid sizes are 2 gigapoints for grib2. However, many routines are already converted to 4 gig. This is getting a problem because one WFO used radar data, composite caliper and had 1 gig points.
So there's no limit on this wgrib?
No, there's a 4 gig limit by the standard, and most of the machines in wgrib2 will now do 2 gigs.
But your stuff has no limit?
No, it has a limit of 4 gigs by the standard. Grid message size is 4 gigs is a standard limit. I don't know what the G2 limit is. Okay. wgrib2 API is a Fortran wrapper to a subroutine version of wgrib2. So 98% of the code is wgrib2 and it's well tested. The wrapper is quite small, 2%. It is easy to extend. Okay, updates to utility give you updates to the library. Source code for the utility and API are bundled together. So you make one, you make the other one by just saying make lib. Okay. There are some limitations. You do have an overhead because you're going through the wgrib2 command line. The code is not re-entrant. Okay, so it's not thread safe. It's hard to generate grib2 files from scratch, and there's not full wgrib2 support because wgrib2 doesn't support grib2 fully. There is overhead. Okay, but however, as grids get bigger, the overhead becomes a smaller fraction of the processing. Okay, so the status. It's relatively new. It works on Intel and GNU Fortran on the Linux systems. It works under Cygwin 64 on the Windows system. What have we done so far with it? SS2GG was a simple GFS Sigma file post processor. I've added code to write grib2 fields on pressure, sigma, and height fields. When the first pass wrote it on whatever, on the sigma levels and height levels, and that took less than a day to get done. Conversion was quite easy. Wave Ocean data solutions is used to read grib2. It's been passed around. Through the Ocean Post is writing grib2, which is in progress. I've been running a number of programs for analyzing various reanalysis. And it's now included with wgrib2 2.0.6. All this stuff that's mentioned. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
10 minutes.
Wonderful. 10 minutes for questions.
First, can we have a copy of this